Hello and welcome to F1 23 round 10 of season 1. We are in Zandvoort today for the mystery round. It was just decided a few minutes ago that it will be Zandvoort today for the race. So we have a race around Zandvoort upcoming. Who will win tonight? Who will win the race tonight? It is to be decided on this 36 laps around Zandvoort. It could surely be an interesting one. We just got the last couple of drivers to get in. So, going into this race, if we have a look at the driver's standings, going into today's race, Angel leads. KZ has closed the gap to 6 points. Entok is within 11 of Angel. If them two can take first and second today in either order, they will both move into the top 2 spots of the championship. There's 5 between KZ and Entok. If Entok can beat KZ today, that can put Entok into the lead of the championship. If he leads by enough points. There's a lot to digest here today. We've got one more person to join. We have 2 more people to get in. We have Ronan and We'll Have Fantasy joining as well. So just a few just sorting out a couple of things here quickly. Just gotta wait for Ronan to pick his team. We are waiting on Ronan to pick his team. Oh, and Doug needs to join quickly. So we are about to start. Took us a little bit of time, but we are getting close to the start of today's Grand Prix. So, Zandvoort today. We've had a little look at the Drivers' Championship. Let's now have a look at the Constructors' Championship going into tonight. If you look, Ferrari do lead the Constructors' Championship after moving up from third last time out past Sauber and Alpine. 147 for Ferrari, 140 for Sauber. Down at the other end, there's a close battle between AlphaTauri, Mercedes and Haas for the bottom step of the championship. If you can call it bottom step of the championship. Just bottom of the championship. Let's simplify it. That could be an interesting one come the later rounds. This is round 10 of 14 today. There's still 4 more... Yeah, there's still 4 more rounds after today to go in this championship season. Anything could happen still, realistically. Let's get that sorted. But yeah, there's still a lot which could happen. But there's still a lot that could happen in this race weekend today. Still a lot to play for, really. You know, anything can go down in this season. These guys have to take a race by race. You know, they're experienced drivers. They know their job. And people waiting. Oh, first drivers are starting to make signs of coming out. Nicholas and it's one of the Saubers who have come out with him. So it's Nicholas and who's going out with him? It's Nicholas and Lead who have gone out. So time to get ready for the first laps of qualifying, which will be coming up soon. Just do the last couple of checks here on my phone before the laps start coming in. Darius is also out. Darius, a new driver making his debut today. Be interesting to see what he can do on his debut. Also making his debut tonight is Happy Cola. So 2 debutants tonight. Anything can happen when you have a debutant in a race. They could shine, or they could unfortunately not have a great one. And Nicholas has lost it on his outlap, and he has lost his front wing, and I'm assuming that will be Nicholas in. And that is Nicholas in. So Lead will be the first person to go into a lap. There's traffic coming out of the pits as he is on his lap, and he's on intermediate, so he's just had a banker lap. So a banker lap will be for Lead. Darius has also started his lap now. Arme letting Lead pass, and Lead has invalidated. So we will go to Darius on Darius's lap here. What can Darius do as a debutant? He's kept it valid so far. And down towards the end of... And it's a possibility that he's just trying to get a bit more temperature in these tyres at this point. Entok is also on a lap. We'll look at Entok's sector 1 time. Entok is up on Darius in sector 1. Darius coming down towards the end of sector 2 here. As he's just taking out, and Lead has retired from the session. And it will be interesting to see what has happened to Lead here. Lead has ended up hitting the wall. So it's interesting there. Darius obviously will be first to finish a lap. Darius, a 1:18.733 for Darius. Entok will be next to cross the line. What can Entok set? A 1:10.145 for Entok. Tasner is next on a lap. What can Tasner do? And Lead has hit the wall whilst on his Inters lap, so that is what has happened to Lead. Unfortunate, but he went on the Inters. It was a risk that he took and it did not pay off for him. But Tasner now on his lap. Also on Inters, like Lead was, he's kept his lap valid, he's kept it out of the wall. And he will cross to go second place provisionally. Now Nathan will be next to cross the line. Nathan comes down to the line on the mediums. Provisionally goes second just ahead of Tasner. Who's next? Happy Kohler has gone provisional second with a 1:11.832. Let's actually get tyres. We can see what people's tyres, what tyres people are on. Kwame has come up to the end of his lap here. He's on mediums. It's a slow lap. Just set a banker, most likely. A 1:28.6, so that was most likely a banker lap. KZ on an O lap. Haikar and Nicholas are the two on their laps. So with Nicholas, we will go. So with Nicholas, we are, as he is in Sector 3, around the penultimate, or going into the penultimate corner, which really stretches out into a long corner, and Tasner has now retired on the line. What's happened to Tasner here? As he just, something's happened to the car there. Nicholas goes provisional second. He's still 1.2 away from Entok, so still a large gap back to Entok. As Haikar is without a front wing as we switch to him. KZ Matti will be the next driver to set a lap time. And then Ronan will be the next driver after him, Ronan, just behind. It's purple sector 1 for KZ at 24.0 through sector 1 as he goes into sector 2 now. Arguably the probably the fastest of the sectors, because there's not much braking that takes place in sector 2 at Zandvoort. But DRS is open as he heads down to the end of sector 2 into sector 3. And it's 48.038, I think that read, as he finishes sector 2. And what kind of a lap can KZ set here? As DRS is open and he's round the final corner and now just down to the line. What can KZ set? It is a 1:08.9. What can Ronan do now? Ronan, just behind, comes down to the line. Ronan goes second with a 1:09.3, so Ronan 4/10 off KZ. So provisional pole is KZ with a 1:08.9. That beat Entok by 1.2 seconds. That was an impressive lap from KZ. That is Kwame on an in lap, or is he going for push? Kwame has moved himself up into 4th, and he's on in lap. But whilst we were focusing on all the drivers, Kwame did put himself into 4th place. So we have 10 minutes left of qualifying. Tasner and Lead both out of this qualifying session so far. And we'll see if we can find out what happened to Tasner. But we have people coming out of the pits now. Nobody on a fresh push lap that I can see running. Yeah, running into the pits. Just gonna see if we can find out what happened to Tasner on his lap and see if there's anything off him. Anything of notability, really, that could give us a hint as to what happened. And without a front wing on his outlap is Entok. That's interesting. Haikar and Adam both on outlaps as well currently. So Entok is into the pits. We might have someone finishing a lap here. Nathan has moved himself up into third place provisionally. Nicholas has just started a lap. Anyone else? Picola also on a lap. Darius is also on a lap. Darius is the most advanced forward on track of all of those on a lap currently. So we will go with Darius and watch his lap as he's 7/10 up, which will put him provisionally in 7th as it stands. Oh shit, I can be hurting him. Okay, I did not realize I could be hurting him there. But I'll put Darius provisionally in 7th place as he comes to the line, and he goes into 6th, so he passes Nicholas. Next on track is Haikar. No, it's not. It is Happy Cola as he comes to the line and he moves himself up past Nicholas. So Nicholas down to 8th as Darius. No, not Darius. As Nicholas moves himself up into 5th place in reaction. Haikar next to the line, he will put himself up into 8th place ahead of his teammate for tonight. Next will be Adam. Where can Adam put himself? As Adam comes to the line, Adam moves into 2nd place, 3/10 off KZ. That was a very good lap from Adam to put himself into the 3rd, but he will most likely be wanting more. As Happy Cola is 7/10 down on an in lap. Darius is also on an in lap by the looks of it. Entok's on an out lap. KZ Matty will be next. He's 3/10 up on his lap time. So KZ looking to guarantee himself the pole position point today. As DRS open down to the line. Goes down the straight to the line. KZ sets a 1:08.690. New fastest lap so far for KZ. As we have people coming in. Adam is on an in lap. Ronan is on a push lap here though. He's a couple of hundredths up, so he's about a quarter of a second up. And now he's about just over half a second down. So it's just slipped away from him slightly in Sector 2 there. But if he can put together a good Sector 3, that could be the deal breaker for him. As down to the line goes Ronan. He goes 2/10 faster and puts himself up ahead of Adam into 2nd. Dropping Adam into P3. Entok's next. Entok 2/10 of a second up. They'll currently remain P5 for him, but open up that gap to Nicholas a little bit more. Entok down to the line. Stays P5. No, sorry, moves up to P4 actually. In ahead of Nathan by a couple of hundredths of a second. So that was a good lap in the end by Entok. Nicholas is next. Nicholas looking to just be warming up the tyres again. Or on in-lap actually. More likely an in-lap than anything. Entok Ronan. So, we got about 5 minutes of qualifying left now. With about 5 minutes left, it'll be interesting to see if anyone else can gain. Can someone take KZ away from pole position? as we're into the last 4 minutes of qualifying. Fantasy still yet to set a time, but on an outlap. So the lead will start from the back, having not set a time before he DNF'd on the intermediate. Tasner could be knocked away from P11 down into P12. Fantasy on an outlap here. It will be interesting to see what he can do with that outlap. Darius also on an outlap. Darius will be the first of the two of them to start his lap. So I mean he'll also be the first to finish it. But Darius onto his lap. Up into turn 1. We're right on board with this lap. Down into turn 2, 3, and now heading into 4. And now heading towards the end of the sector now. Around the left into the sweeping right. These very sweeping corners are 2/10 down as he starts sector 2. But time can be found, as I'm sure he is aware, as he invalidates Darius, invalidating his lap. Fantasy 24-3 through sector 1. He's pushing to find something. Can he make it to Ferrari front row lockout? That's what I'm sure he and KZ will be wanting to see. But down at the end of sector 2, 48.8. It's not looking likely unless he puts together a blistering final sector, but he has got traffic up ahead of him. And this traffic could cost him. But to the line he goes, and he moves himself into P7. So Fantasy up into 7th position. As Darius just going slow, letting Fantasy finish his lap. Haikar needs an invite. But this is a time where everything gets busy on track. So, track and busy. Nicholas retiring Austin P6. Kwame is first of those out to start lap. Is he? Yeah, I think he is. Actually, no, KZ is first. He's about 10th and a half down. Tasner crashed into pit entry, so that is why he's out. And we missed the sector 2 split for KZ, as we were just getting an update on what happened to Tasner. But down to the line goes KZ. Will he improve? No, about 3/10 down. That's interesting, as we're just trying to work out who's next on track. It is Kwame now. Kwame is second up on his time. 109.6 Alperman, now put him on the second row with his teammate Adam. So, can Kwame find anything else in this lap? The medium run last time, on the softs this time. Adam goes up into third, no sorry, Kwame goes up into third, just ahead of his teammate. Just behind Ronan, so that was very close between them. Entok stays 5th, can't find anything. Nathan can't find Nathan up to 6th past Nicholas. And this is when everything just starts to get busy. Darius will not find any more time. Haikar and Happy Call are 10th and 11th for them. Darius doesn't find time. Fantasy is going slow, so Fantasy won't find any time. So it's Adam and KZ left out. Ronan has retired. Can Adam find time? to go up ahead of his teammate, ahead of Ronan. Maybe even Paul. It looks unlikely. And Adam is in the pits. So Adam and Fantasy both in the pits. So that is qualifying over. It's a front row of KZ and Ronan. Williams cover the second row with Kwame and Adam. Entok and Nathan fill up the third row. Nicholas and Fantasy on the fourth row. Then there's Darius, the newcomer, in 9th, next to Haikar. Behind Haikar in 11th is the other newcomer and his teammate Happy Cola. 12th, Tasner, and lead will start from the back in 13th. That is the end of your qualifying here today in Zandvoort. The race will follow shortly. So here, confirmation of your results. 5/10 between the top four, or just over 5/10. A 109.2 flat for Adam. That's impressive. That's probably the most impressive feat of this qualifying session. If we have a look at race director, instance, 2 DNFs, Nicholas DNF and through to terminal damage. So that is how your qualifying ends. And we will be loading into the race shortly. It's really a race where any one of them top 4 can realistically go on and win it today. Entok will be wanting them points to give himself a bit of a confidence boost in the Drivers' Championship. He started the season off very well, if any of you remember, where he won the first 2 or 3 rounds, or he was up there around the podium, first, second, third was his worst finish for the first couple of races, and then it just started to drop off. And that dropping off has cost him down to 3rd in the championship now after KZ took the win last time out in Qatar, dropping Entok down. It went from a good start to the season to being a rough season for Entok. He can pull it back, but we are about to go racing, as with 5 red lights, and it's lights out, and away we go. Ronan and KZ Son on the front row, Nicholas giving Entok Adam not giving Entok much room. But Ronan is going to look for it down into the inside. Kwame is going to stick with them. And then front 3 already opening a bit of a gap, and as Adam is in the wall. And Adam is in the wall. He's got the car, he's kept the car going, but he's lost his front wing, and that was contact with, I think it was Nathan. And that looks like it's a full car safety car. It's a virtual safety car. So, if we look at the position changes from the start, Nathan gained 2 places, so did Fantasy. Habicola gained 3 on his debut. Tasner and Lead both gaining 2. And Haikar losing out on 2. And Adam losing out on 9 positions. That is very unfortunate for Adam. Strategies. Nicholas, the only driver on the hards. A few people on the mediums from the start. And what's happened to Kwame there? Kwame has gone very, very off the track there, as he rejoins down in 7th place. Nicola down to 8th now. Happy Cola making the move past him. Now Darius is all over the back. So Kwame, an experienced seasoned driver here, just in a bit of a sandwich between the 2 rookies here as Ronan makes the move. Ronan and KZ fighting through turn 1. Fighting wheel to wheel through this first part of the track here. Nathan is now up to 3rd place. Fantasy just behind him in 4th. Then it's Entok, Nicholas, Habicola, Darius, Kwame, Tasner, Haikar, Lead, and Adam in for the hard tyres and a front wing change. So the front 2 starting to pull away. Just 3rd place Nathan, just trying to keep with them, trying to keep in DRS range. That's what Nathan needs to do here. Stay in DRS range, get pulled along by them. He's got a gap to Fantasy now. If he can remain in DRS range from the top 2 here, he can just get pulled along with them. And that'll be what he wants. Just allow himself to get pulled along. Don't drop into the DRS range of Fantasy, because if he drops into the DRS range of Fantasy, that is not good for him. Lead just out of about half a second out of DRS range on High Car, but he is gaining down behind. Now from Fantasy down to High Car, there is a DRS range. Nathan 1:11.9 fastest lap so far. He is on the hard as Nicholas and Entok battling here. Nicholas moving up to P5, and Nicholas will start chasing down Fantasy. Them two battling a bit. There has lost some DRS to Fantasy, but Nicholas could crawl it back here. But these two, it'll be interesting to see how they battle. Ronan and KZ just staying close to each other, but not really going for a move on each other yet. But the DRS could change that. Behind, High Car is putting Kwame under pressure as well. So this battle's all over. Happy Cola is the leader of the two newbies. High Car and Kwame battling as High Car has made it past Kwame. Kwame is down to P11. Kwame having a really rough day here. Darius up past Happy Cola for P7 now. Just behind them is Tazna. Tazna just staying in behind the two rookies. Just seeing what they can do. Entok giving chase to Nicholas. Entok just having a little look there. Decided against it, but he had a little bit of a look. Darius and Happy Cola both going wheel to wheel. A little bit of contact between the two of them there. And Darius is off. And Darius kept the car going. He saved the car there. But he has lost position to High Car and Kwame now. As Tazna has now made the move past Happy Cola as well. So Tazna can now just push to catch up to Endok and his teammate Nicholas, and there's Martin Nicholas. The front three here still just pulling away. Top three still just doing their job of pulling away from Fantasy. Doing it well, and Fantasy has opened that gap to Nicholas, which is interesting. Nicholas, a champion back in the SFCR days of this league. I can't remember which season Nicholas was champion of actually. We can find out though. Nicholas was the season 2 champion. That's correct. Yeah, Nicholas, the season 2 champion. Oh, Michello's just joined late. That's unfortunate for Michello. But Tazna is closing that gap ahead, and Nathan is out. And what's happened to Nathan here? Nathan's in the wall, and he's spun in the wall, so that's not good for Nathan. It is a safety car. Ronan has got the lead over KZ now. Something has happened there. And I'm not sure what, because I was going through the others just to see if I could see anything happening further around the track. That is interesting, to say the least. It will be interesting to see if there's anything sent about that, any clips or anything. Because that could be... It's interesting as the three of them were not battling as such, but they were there around each other. And it will be interesting to see if there's anything said about it or not. So Entok not pitting under the safety car. A lot of people going to hards, but also a lot of people going to mediums. Entok's the only person not to have pitted. That is interesting. But this has pulled Adam back into this race. Because this is going to let Adam catch up. This is Ferrari's just switching position on safety car, but as I said, this is going to let Adam catch up. It's interesting. That is for sure. It is interesting. Adam in the pits again. No, is he in for a set of hards? Or not? No, it's a set of softs he's in for. Interesting. Very, very interesting decision. Will this work? I'm unsure. No, there's no way he can take the softs. There's no way. Surely he's not going to try it. No, he can't be trying it. He cannot be trying that. If he's trying what I think he is, there's no way. Like, surely there's no way. No, who's in the pits this time? Adam in the pits again. You got the hard sword this time? He's got the hard sword this time. I think that's what he was struggling with. Not sure, but I'm assuming that's what he was struggling with. But still a lot to go. Still have 28 or so laps to go. Safety car might be in this lap, but it's unlikely that it's in this lap, I'd say. No, it should be in this lap now that Adam's caught up. So safety car should be in this lap, and the question is, has this helped Entok? Safety car is in this lap. So the big question is, has it helped Entok with his tyres? That is to be seen. Oh, Entok going very slow on the restart here. What is Entok doing here? He's going very slow. Ronan's just creeping up alongside him. Oh, this is an unusual restart. And he's gone very, very early, trying to catch everyone off guard. He's gone very slow and then gone early. But Ronan on the fresher tyres is closing that gap already. So Entok's tried something, but it's not worked. But Kwame and Haikar are battling a little bit back there. Adam just behind them. But Tazna lead and Apicol all the trainer Darius just chasing down Nicholas here. Fantasy, Ronan, KZ, and Entok had just left Nicholas, but Entok, if I'm right in saying, is still yet to pit. So Entok's still yet to pit. That safety car was a perfect opportunity for him to go onto hards and go to the end of the race. Like I'm sure KZ, Ronan, Darius, Lead, Kwame, Haikar and Adam all have in mind. But he hasn't took the chance which he's had. And to me, that does not make sense. It's very unusual, to say the least. But Entok is now going to be under the pressure of KZ. KZ is trying to put the pressure on. Ronan trying to stick his nose in there as well. Entok on them older medium tyres just getting eaten up through the first couple of turns there by the two hard runners of KZ and Ronan. Entok will still try to fight back. Fantasy and Haikar is out. So safety car again as Haikar is in the wall. So this time it should be Entok's time to it. We got the second safety car. What will that mean? Probably lead to one or two people pitting. You'd have thought. Mostly saying, and if Entok doesn't pit this time, something is wrong. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to say too much, but he has to pit. This is his best attempt to come into the pits. Why would he not come into the pits this time round? He doesn't. But it looks like everyone's still racing. It looks as if they're still racing. It says safety car, but it looks as if it's still... No, it says safety car on the things. They are still racing, but Entok is staying out. Why is he staying out? Surely it's worth it coming in. Lead is again a new front wing. So I can assume it's Lead and Haikar have made contact. But the big question on everyone's lips is why is Entok still out? He's had 2 attempts under safety car to make a pit stop. And he hasn't. Why, oh why, oh why has he not pit? That is the question on everybody's lips right now. Why is Entok not in? Set of hards on, go to the end. It's the rational thing to do. It's like rational thinking to make the pit stop. Obviously, I'm sitting here in a position of commentating. I can easily criticize these drivers. I can criticize them like there is no tomorrow for what they do. But there is a serious question for Entok right now. And it is, why have you not made a pit stop? He still hasn't made a pit stop. It's great. Adam's in the pits again. How many times? This is... I don't even know which stop this is. This is Adam's stop number 5. Probably mediums. It's a new front wing, so he took wing damage somewhere, but it's a new set of mediums, as I predicted. But there was a serious question from Entok. Why had you not made a pit stop? I don't want to go too much because, you know, there's always a chance that, you know, he's on a different strategy, he's trying something different. But at the same time, you know, you have to ask, like, is there a reason? Is there something behind his thinking? Or is it a case of, I haven't pit because I feel I can take the tyres longer? Or is he just sticking to the original strategy? But when there's a safety car, you have to think, do I go for a different strategy? But safety car is in the slap, and Casey will lead it this time. As Tasna, severe collision on the safety car. With Happy, so Happy and Tasna making contact with the safety car. Tasna with a 5-second penalty. But Casey has gone. He has left a bit of a gap to Ronan, but Ronan is pushing. And Tasna in to serve his 5-second. This is smart from Tasna now. It's in. I'm expecting a set of HUDs to be going on. He's got wing damage as well. Just 5-second penalty plus wing damage to be repaired. It is a set of HUDs on. So that could be costly, but Adam's struggling here today. This was unusual. Adam had a really good qualifying lap, but he's missing the end plate. Adam is really struggling. Whatever's happening to Adam today, it's not going his way in this race. Darius in 9th on his debut. Just behind the lead, Kwame. Now Happy Cola on his debut is in P6, and this is a very good drive for a debutant today in P6. But they're moving further forward. Fantasy is chasing down Nicholas. Entok on the podium. This is good for Entok. But he's just sliding, and them tyres. I've said this so far all the race. Why hasn't he pitted? Because them tyres, they're just not going to go as much as he wants, and he's going to start losing a lot of time. He's just lost to Nicholas. He's got Fantasy all over the back of him here. Fantasy is going to make that move for P4, and Entok's just lost 2 places in probably about 15 seconds. The tyres are not there for Entok, and he's going to be coming under pressure from Happy Cola. And Happy is going to put himself up into 5th place if he can make that move. But Ronan and KZ still pulling away, and Adam is inside, and this looks like it's a retirement. This looks like it could be a retirement for Adam. He's going again. Something's happened there. Adam is going again though. Something wasn't right there. As up ahead, what's happened up ahead? Kwame is off. There is a safety car. Kwame's off. Leeds got no front wing. Darius looks like he's been off as well with how much he's lost to the Happy. It's just nothing's going right here. Kwame has got back on track. Now, does Entok pit? Entok still does not pit. Where I'm sorry, I'm just having to take a couple of minutes to just bring everything in. Lead has retired. I'm just having to take a couple of minutes to just take everything that's happened in this race in. Just let it all comprehend. My biggest question is about Entok here. He's had 3 attempts now on the safety car to have made a pit stop. And he has not! Why? I don't get it. It's really hurting my brain as to why he hasn't pit. and he's passing the pits again. We're on to lap 16. Just on 15 laps. Fantasy and Happy Cola making a severe collision under safety car. Happy is missing the end blade, so that's interesting. But I am seriously dumbfounded. There is a lot to comprehend. Very much a lot to comprehend. Happy Colors and Fitz Darius is up to P4. And Doc's still in the pits. So safety car is in this lap. So when will KZ go this time? That is the question. And will Ronan stay with him this time? KZ goes and Ronan does come with him. And now Entox in seconds apparently. Darius making overtaken Kwame, Happy Colton, sorry, Kwame going all the way down, and Kwame does have side pod damage. KZ ignoring yellow flags. Ronan is in second, Entox is in third, Fantasy and Nicholas battling the two Astons in 7th and 8th. Further back here, Ronan dropping to 2nd. Very confused what's happening up at the front here. But Adam is in 4th. Adam fighting through the questionable things which have happened in this race so far to him. Fantasy making the move past Darius for P5 Darius down to P6 on debut. The two Astons working together, they're just defending against Happy here. Happy down in P9. The two Astons working together nicely there, by the looks of it. But the other question is, were they just trying to make a move on each other? Nicholas looking for the move past Darius here. Not much room being given among them all, but Nicholas with a very good run there. Happy also with a good run. Darius is down to P8. And now Tasner will look around the outside of Darius. Tasner just couldn't find it. This is going to be a good 4-car battle here in this stage of the race. Up ahead, Adam is up into 3rd, then there's Entok in 4th, Fantasy is in 5th. But then at the lead, you have the front 2 battling it out as well. So there's 3 groups here, but Nicholas is just dropping his teammate and the other 2 new drivers here. Fantasy has moved the move for P4 past Entok. Entok's now gone half a lap on these mediums. He has to pit. There's no way he can continue this. There's no way he can sustain this. You know, he was on the podium and now he's not. Adam and Fantasy have both gone past him. He's had 3 safety cars to pit, and he hasn't made a pit stop, and he's going to stay out. There is big question marks to be asked. The 2 Astons in 6th and 7th, as Darius is now into the pits, and it's Darius in for damage. He's on 14 lap old hards. He's in. It's not for damage, he's onto the mediums. So he's going to go the rest of the race on the mediums. Happy trying to look to make a move on Nicholas. Nicholas let his teammate Tasner go. Tasner pushing. So it's Tasner's turn to push to catch Entok. Entok still just not having the look he needs. When will he pit? But a bit further back there is Nicholas and Happy Gola battling it. Happy Cola with the DRS will look to make the move. Nicholas is going to put the pressure on him though. Nicholas does have end plate damage, so that's probably why Nicholas has let his teammate go. And the question is, where has Nicholas gained this end plate damage? And the next question is, will Nicholas pit because of it? As Entok is into the pits now. So is Nicholas, but Entok is the one we've been waiting for the pits, and he's going on to the hards. So the question is, why has he not come in earlier for the hards? But it is a new front wing as well. So he's picked up damage somewhere. That could also be an attribute to why he was losing time, if he's had that damage for a while. Entok will be out ahead of Darius. Nicholas should be out ahead of Darius. Darius is into the pits again. That's interesting. Kwame is going to move up into P9. Kwame has gone fastest lap of this race now. Ronan is also in the lead. KZ second. Adam is pushing to catch him, and Fantasy is pushing to stay with Adam. This could be a 4-car battle nearer the end of this race for the win, as we have 15 laps to go. And Tasner in 5th. Just seeing what he can do. 10 points faster than Martin. It'll be good for them in the championship here. Happy, 6th on his debut. KZ has made the move past Ronan, but KZ is off. KZ is spun and KZ is in the gravel. That is a reset to track as well. That is a reset to track. KZ now in 4th, Adam in 2nd. Adam pushing to catch Ronan, but Ronan, gap's just staying the same. Ronan is extended, then Adam's closing it through different sections of this track. Adam is within a second at the DRS mark, and Adam does have DRS, so this is going to bring Adam into the fight with Ronan now. Fantasy and KZ, the 2 Ferraris. 3rd and 4th. Tasner in 5th, looking to catch KZ now. So this is not... Oh, Neither KZ nor Antok have had a good race so far for their championship hopes. Although 4th place should move KZ up into the lead, but he has got that 5 seconds as well. Let's not forget for ignoring yellow flags. Obviously we have Tasner, who's opening our gap to Happy quite a bit. And behind Kwame, with the sidebar damage on the softs, is still doing a good job of catching Nicholas. Kwame and Fantasy, I'd expect, will both be pitting before the end of this race. But we have a champion, not a championship fight, sorry. Not a title fight. A battle for the lead, that's the word. We have a battle for the lead about to go down here. Ronan, who's been in the battle with KZ for so much of this race, and Adam, who's been at the back for so much of this race. Adam, DRS open through the banking of the final corner and down the straight. When will Adam strike? Adam on fresher mediums compared to Ronan's hards. 18 laps on Ronan compared to 9 laps on Adam. Ronan could go to the end of this, but whether or not he can sustain tyres through the pressure from Adam. KZ is catching up, has caught up to Fantasy now. And you'd expect that Fantasy possibly let KZ through, as Fantasy is off the track and just trying to regain, and he has lost out to Tasna as well, but regaining the place past Tasna. So Fantasy in P4, but just letting Tasna back, as it is a VSC. Virtual safety car has been called. And Kwame and Nicholas have caught up to each other, but Nicholas is without a front wing. So that is probably why this virtual safety car has been called, I would imagine. And now the leaders. 5 seconds for speed in pit lane to Ronan. That's not good for him. On a fresh set of mediums for Ronan now. What's Adam going to go on to? Adam is going to go on to a fresh set of softs for the last 11 laps. Adam just coming out ahead of Ronan here. KZ leads. There's Tasna and then it's Happy. Happy will most likely have to pit again this race. As what's happened here is Kwame, Ronan has retired from the session. But Kwame, what happened there to Kwame? It looked as if he was spun around as he just banged bombs out on the curb there. I'm not sure what happened to Kwame there, but Kwame is in the pits. As he's just been given track limits, but Nicholas also in the pits. Nicholas understandably in the pits for a new front wing. Nicholas and Kwame both dropping behind Darius now, but still both in the points. As we continue. Well, Tasna is closing in on KZ. Adam has made the move past Happy. Happy's really dropped off massively from Tasna. This is interesting. It still says that Ronan's car is on the track there, but it's interesting. It's a very interesting one. As we continue, Fantasy is in 5th place, with Entok in 6th, 7th Darius, 8th Nicholas, and 9th Kwame. But KZ continues to lead in this race. He's just pulling away from Tasna now. But Tasna is not going to give up. Tasna, as he showed last week, will fight and fight and fight for what he can. And with Adam behind on them fresh set of softs, you would truly... Adam with a fastest lap of 1:11.1. So Adam taking the fastest lap. But yeah, as I was saying, you would truly think that Unhappy has been penalised for speeding into the pit lane. Entok up into 5th. Darius will not get past Happy. Darius is a bit too far back. So Happy will come out in P6 on a set of mediums. Entok still on that set of hards he pitted for a few laps ago. Fantasy up and forth. Adam trying to chase down Tasna and maybe even chasing down KZ at this point. There's still time. But continuing up ahead, Kwame is closing in on Nicholas here. And Kwame, although he has the sidepod damage, has stayed in this race. Staying in this race and fighting for what he can. And he is behind Nicholas now, and he's within a second of Nicholas, half a second actually to be precise. So there's still a chance that they can do something here. The two of them, that is. But this is going to be interesting in the latter stages of this race. Nicholas and Kwame. Kwame going wide through the banking section. Nicholas defending. And Kwame almost in the pit lane, but Kwame... Has he took a bit? No, he has no, but he has took damage there. But aggressive defending from Nicholas there, as he is battery saving at the same time as well. But that aggressive defending from Nicholas there. Kwame is going to aggressively attack in return, and Tasna has spun. So Tasna has spun off at turn 1 and Adam is up into second, 4.6, 4.5 now behind KZ, so there could be a battle between Adam and KZ at the end here. Tasna down to 3rd. That spin will not be nice on his tyres. Fantasy will not chase. Fantasy are much fresher mediums as well. But back to Kwame and Nicholas battling here. They're battling hard. Former teammates at Aston Martin 2 or 3 seasons ago. And once again we'll ride on board with Kwame this time. As he goes to the inside, Nicholas closing it off, and there's almost contact between the two of them. Kwame, can he stick it this time? He does stick it this time up into P8. And during them battling, they have caught up to Darius now. So this could draw Darius into a battle for P7, 8 and 9. Adam, over the other end of the field, is continuing to gain on KZ, but he's going to have to gain a lot more than he currently is in these last few laps for him to make a move for the win. But there is Nicholas, Kwame and Darius now battling for the final 3 positions. Kwame making the move through the final corner with DRS. Nicholas will also have DRS and Darius. And Nicholas is going to go to the inside of Darius, right on board. Nicholas and Kwame both making the move from Darius, and Darius almost spinning with a little bit of contact off the back of Nicholas's car there. But Kwame and Nicholas both making moves, and Nicholas will have DRS this time down the main straight. As Kwame defends the inside, Nicholas following him for the slipstream. Nicholas is going to try to take around the outside this time, and Nicholas is looking to make it around the outside. Kwame is wheel to wheel through the first section of this track, but Nicholas has made the move through the first section in the first sector. And Nicholas up into P7, but Kwame is going to fight back. Now this is going to be an interesting battle near the end. Unless something happens to happen here, they're not going to catch. But this is going to be a very, very interesting battle. It's Darius' spun. Darius spinning. So, unless a big contact happens between these two, Darius will finish in P9 and take 2 points for McLaren today. But Kwame and Nicholas still battling it out for P7 now. It's always fun when you see former teammates battling it out. Kwame now a full-time Williams driver. But as I was saying there, it's always fun when you see former teammates battling it out on track with different teams. And Kwame is up into P7, but Nicholas is going to fight back. Nicholas is going to have the inside into this corner. Kwame looking for the switch back. Does he have the traction? He just didn't have the traction out of the corner compared to Nicholas. But Kwame will still look to make the move at some point here. And we are at some point going to have to switch over to KZ on the last lap. But the battle between these two is, you just can't take your eyes off it. This is the only point on the track where any two drivers are close enough to be battling. Adam, it doesn't look like Adam's going to be getting the win now. KZ has got a clear enough lead, unless something drastic happens there. Tasner could come under pressure from Fantasy nearer the end of this race, but again, I just don't think that the gap's close enough for Fantasy to really mount a pressure on. But Kwame with the DRS open to battle Nicholas once again. And hello Gabriel. But once again, battling it out. And Kwame is going to stick around the outside now. But Nicholas staying in the lead. But Kwame will remain wheel to wheel with him as he just backs out to let Nicholas go ahead. But can he get the better traction? He does get the better traction this time by the looks of it. But once again, Nicholas defending well. And these two really battling it out now. Same age on the tyres, different compounds of tyres. The two of them battling it out to show who deserves the P7. Whichever one of these gets the P7, Kwame does have that penalty, so if Kwame does want P7, he is going to have to get past Nicholas and pull away, but if you've only just tuned in, Kwame does have side pod damage. So that could also play a factor in him not being able to pull away when he does get in the lead of Nicholas. But then again, they're so evenly paced, the two of them as drivers. That's another factor into why he just can't do it. But Fantasy up ahead is going to be close enough in the last couple of laps to Tasner, by the looks of it. And it's about a 1.1 gap as they go into lap 34 of 36 in Zandvoort tonight. But again, and Kwame spun. There's contact between Kwame and Nicholas, and Kwame has spun. And that is race over for the battle for P7. And that's Kwame down to P8. And it looks like he'll be staying in P8. Very unfortunate. It was a good battle between the two of them. It was a very good battle between the two of them. And it was lasting a good amount of time as well. Okay, bro. But, oh, Kwame's back to caught up with Nicholas. I was just checking a couple of things in the Discord there, but, Kwame just had an amazing push there. I'd expect that Nicholas probably slowed down, but Tasner and Fantasy, this is a bit more of an important battle for constructors. Tasner and Fantasy for P3, the final step of the podium. And then, no, we don't have an Adam one. I thought for a second we might have had an Adam fight, but Kwame making the move past Nicholas. Nicholas is going to still fight back. And a little bit of a nice move there from Nicholas, just working the space and making the move, but going back up just a little bit more. And they're going to be wheel to wheel. Kwame has the DRS, but they're going to be wheel to wheel down here, down the straight. And Nicholas just has that straight line speed, most likely burning battery, and he'll try to go around the outside here. But Tasner and Fantasy as well. They're going on to their final lap of the race. And Fantasy just dipping a tyre in the grass and nearly losing it. But this is going to be a battle on the final lap here for them. It's going to be two battles on the final lap. As Nicholas and Kwame are on their final lap as they have been lapped. KZ will win the race. We'll switch to him once he goes into the final sector. But a lot is going on here. As we'll go to Fantasy and Tasner here. As the Tasner's... Oh, I thought there was a contact there would spawn. As Darius is off the track. But we go to KZ. He won in Qatar. He's going to win in Zandvoort. KZ wins the race. And in 5 seconds for an unserved penalty, so Adam wins the race. Due to KZ's unserved penalty, Tasner and Fantasy are going to come to the line. Tasner finishes in third, Fantasy in fourth. Entok is going to finish in fifth. Nicholas finished 7th and Kwame finished 8th. So Entok will finish in 5th place. Darius finishes in 9th. And Happy, on his debut, will come round the final corner and down the straight to take 6th place. That was a entertaining race today. It was an interesting race today. And Adam won in the Williams. So, confirmation of your results. Adam wins the race. KZ finishes in 2nd. Finishing off the podium was Tasner from 12th to 3rd. Good race for him today. Fantasy in 4th with Entok in 5th. Happy on his debut finished 6th with Nicholas finishing in 7th. Kwame, after having a good battle with Nicholas, finishes in 8th. Darius on his debut starts 9th, finishes 9th. Ronan, Lead, Haikar and Nathan all unfortunately did not finish today's race. That is everything for today. We will see you next time out in WERL.